Welcome to the Parkrimp difference. This training program will introduce you to one of the most durable, easy-to-use crimping machines available anywhere. A machine that delivers a precise metal-to-metal crimp every time. In this section, we'll cover characteristics that are common to all Parkrimp machines, where to find useful information such as which hose fitting sizes correspond to a specific die, and simple operating and maintenance tips. Whichever Parkrimp machine you have, they all have several characteristics in common. First, there is no need to skive the hose, that is, remove its rubber cover, to install a Parkrimp fitting. This is because the metal teeth of the fitting penetrate the hose cover to grip directly on the hose's metal reinforcement. It is important, however, to use only the products found in Parker product catalogs when using a Parkrimp machine. The fittings, for example, are of one-piece construction and specially designed for Parker no-skive hose. Another great feature common to all Parkrimp machines is the Parkrimp dies. They're unitized, so there are no loose dies to mismatch or install incorrectly. It also makes them easier to handle when you pick them up. For easy identification, each die is stamped on the top with its appropriate series and size of hose fittings. Parker dies also have a unique design feature called the Park-Align system. This system automatically ensures the proper positioning of the fitting in the dies for a uniform crimp time after time. You'll also see that all dies are color-coded according to hose size. This helps avoid confusion and saves time during setup. On your crimper, you'll find a color-coded Parkrimp decal that also notes the specific dies and their corresponding hose fitting sizes. In addition, the decal indicates which fitting series and additional tooling, including crimping die ring, spacer plate, and adapter bowl, is approved to use with the hose that you've selected. To determine the length of the downstroke and subsequently the crimp diameter, place the die ring or spacer plate between the pusher and die set. The decal also shows you proper crimp diameters, and it provides information about stainless steel fittings. You can also find this information and other material, such as installation information and power unit requirements, in the Parker Hose Products Division 4400 catalog, online at CrimpSource, and in the technical manuals included with your machine. Now we'll review 8 simple tips for operating and maintaining your Parkrimp machine. Number 1. Use only the hose and fitting product combinations shown in Parker catalogs. 2. Keep your dies and die bowl free of debris. 3. To prevent wear of the die and the die cavity, lubricate the die bowl frequently with high-pressure grease. The 4th tip concerns cutting the hose properly. It's important to always wear safety glasses. Also, make sure the saw blade is sharp. Use the adjustable pins on the saw to bend the hose to reduce friction. And don't push the saw handle too hard. Let the blade do the work of producing a square cut. The 5th tip, before you crimp, always bottom the hose in the fitting. Parker recommends either using our hose insertion depth gauge or marking the insertion depth by putting the fitting next to the hose. Hose insertion depths are also listed in the Parker Hose Products Division 4400 catalog. You may wish to lightly lubricate the end of the hose. Then push the hose into the fitting until the end of the shell is even with the mark on the hose. You can also use the Parker push-on stand to insert the hose into the fitting. However, if you're working with spiral hose, lubrication is not recommended. It has been found that the long-term performance of spiral hose assemblies can be improved when the fittings are assembled to the hose without using lubrication. Tip number 6. Always operate your Parkrimp machine with its protective cover in place. The 7th tip. Use proper safety equipment when cutting and handling hose and while operating crimping equipment. And tip number 8. Become familiar with the safety guide, which you can find by accessing any of the resources listed here. Thanks for watching, and enjoy working with the Parkrimp difference.